3 games, averaging almost 29 points per game and has really gotten the 3-ball going. She's made 11 threes in the last 3, Zora.
The last time a ranked opponent was on this floor here at Carver Hawkeye Arena was when USC was in town. The Hawkeyes pulled the upset against the top 5 opponent, trying to do it again today. Meantime, UCLA says, bring on this crowd, bring on this atmosphere. They are ready for it.
Yeah, the atmosphere is certainly interesting when you think back to that USC loss. I mean, this is a different type of atmosphere for these West Coast teams coming in.
Well, these two teams haven't played since 2016, the 3rd overall meeting, so a lot of scouting, a lot of film review had to be done. Both coaches saying, knowing your personnel, knowing who the shooters are, how do you want to guard Lauren Betts? How do you want to guard Lucy Olsen? Here come the Hawkeyes. Backdoor cut by Olsen. Bobbled the pass. UCLA trying to get on the board. All right, Lauren Betts asking for the basketball. Too much traffic. They find a way to get it down to her. She has so much poise when she catches and puts it up in the paint.
Lauren Betts has just gotten so smart at reading how the defender is playing her, how the help defense is playing her, and getting to a spot where she can seal deep and score.
Well, what's also so impressive is the ability for her teammates to get that entry pass in. It's an underrated skill. Fearback on the attack. Stolke, one of the best offensive rebounders in the Big Ten.
Yeah, these are 2 really good rebounding teams, top 2 in the Big Ten in terms of margin. And Corey Close has not been thrilled with how her team has been rebounding as of late. That's a big focus for them.
Yeah, UCLA sits at the top of the Big Ten in so many of the rebounding categories. But Corey Close wants her team to be better at defensive rebounding. Hawkes pump fake attack mode and scores.
And that's a player that Corey Close really wants to see find her footing again. Gabriella Hawkes, one of the veterans of this group, wants her to really play confidently.
Back and forth we go to start. Talked about Olsen and her ability to score. Mid-range is where she does her damage. No go on that one. Hannah Stolke again. Another opportunity for the Hawkeyes. See Hawkeyes surveying. Keeps it for herself.
We got some good guards in this game. Lucy Olsen showing the defensive prowess as well.
Some crafty guards on both sides. Okay, the leaders for these teams. Corey Close, I mentioned she's in her 14th season, has led this Bruin team to multiple Sweet 16s, even an Elite 8, but they've got some lofty goals this season. And Jan Jensen, in her first season as the head coach of the Iowa Hawkeyes, of course, was by Lisa Bluter's side for more than 20 seasons.
Very nice blazer for Jan.
Oh, she's sharp.
Pink out down here, which has been a really special couple of moments we've witnessed here.
Shot clock winding down. Olsen recognizes hard fadeaway.
So she's been met with multiple defenders that are switching on her. She's seen size.
Lauren Betts trying to get positioning, fronted by Hannah Stolke. They go to the lob game, tipped away, doesn't matter.
Yeah, fronting Lauren Betts, if she can push you up a little bit and just have a couple of inches of space to catch and put it in, you may have to consider how you're going to play that. The smaller help defender from the backside can't do much against 6'7".
Olsen trying to find an open spot. A filter sets her feet. And something we appreciate about both of these teams offensively, Kim, is they take their time, they're patient, trying to look for a good shot.
Yeah, Iowa's gotten some good ones so far, but a cold shooting start. Lauren Betts tries to show a little bit of range there.
Olsen, the floater over Betts.
Zora, multiple times now, we've just seen the impact of Lauren Betts at 6'7", and she is just waiting as a help defender or closing out as a help defender. We've seen Lucy Olsen alter her finishes and finish short already multiple times.
Just makes you think twice. I would too if 6'7" was down low. All right, Lauren Betts is going to work early. 6 points in this first frame.
And all 3 of her field goals have been the same. Hannah Stolke has been fronting her. She's had that arm bar up, calling for it with the opposite hand, and has been able to finish on the backside of the defense.
Iowa has missed its last 5 shots. Trying to see one go down. Cade off the curl. They go to Stolke. Oh, just met at the rim by Lauren Betts. That's what she does. Kim, you talked about in the pregame show. She's now the single-season leader at UCLA for blocks. Came into this one with 67. Battle for the basketball. McCabe and Olsen secure it.
Lauren Betts also set the single-game record with 9 earlier this year, and Iowa just continues to be sped up and bothered by this really strong half-court defense from UCLA. As we look back at the impact of 6'7" Lauren Betts moving across the lane, doesn't happen too often to Hannah Stolke, who's a really physical and strong finisher around the rim, but just had no chance against Betts.
A number of subs in the game for UCLA, the freshman Arnisalo, Dudley, and then Janiah Barker, who was day-to-day. Only played 1 minute in the game prior to this one. Good to see her back at it. UCLA deep into its set. Shot clock keeps winding down. About 5 seconds to work. Rice behind the 3-point line. Sydney Falter on the boards. No surprise there. McCabe, she's due. Taylor McCabe, the best 3-point shooter percentage-wise in the Big Ten. Doesn't get that one to go. Here come the Hawks. Guyton off the screen. Against her former high school teammate, too.
And Iowa finally starts to get something to fall, but for UCLA, they have to like this start because they haven't allowed the crowd to get into this game too much like they did against USC.
Offensive screen. A close one so far. The number 3 team in the nation on top early. Talking about her team recently. Love that they're grinding out wins, but she wants them to get back to their identity.
Yeah, I mean, this is a team that has 8 top 25 wins, but they have the final game of the season in mind. When you're talking about getting to the first Final Four in program history, winning a national championship, that's the mentality that an elite coach is going to have. They can win back-to-back top 25 games, but they're not playing as well as she thinks they're capable of, and we heard the word passion there. She wants to see them playing with more fire and just to have more fun out there. She wants to see more smiles.
Well, and this is a team, right, that without Coach Close already holds themselves to a high standard, and she said they're not as confident as you would think. So in addition to coaching them hard, she's bringing lightness and joy into the locker room right now. She just wants them, as you said, to have a little bit more fun out there. They are the number 3 team in the country, number 1 in the net. Meantime, the Hawkeyes trying to close this deficit, only at 4. Olsen off the Brady screen. Trying to get it through the teeth of the defense. Stolen away by Kiki Rice. No one has stopped her all the way for Rice.
And that just can't happen against one of the best downhill attackers in the country. You have to stop the ball first. Really, every Iowa player just let her weave right to the basket.
Well, the control that she had, right? The change of speed, a falter.
And so far, defensively, I think this is really what Corey Close wants to see. Her main focus in this game is to make Iowa make tough twos, limit them from 3. Iowa's 0 for 3 from 3 so far.
Yeah, Iowa right now shooting under 20% from the field. O'Grady has hit a couple.
And I'd say that's a tough 2. She had size in her face, but Addison O'Grady has really stepped up her play this season, become one of the primary scorers for this Hawkeyes team.
Averaging double figures off the bench. O'Grady was originally in the starting lineup. Coach Jen Jensen made a change, and now she comes off the bench. Parker swarmed by the Hawkeyes. Lauren Betts met with multiple defenders, and O'Grady takes it away. I mean, impact plays off the bench for Addison O'Grady. Ooh. Turns it over, though.
Yeah, so on that play, you saw an adjustment to how they are defending Betts. They had started defending her on the high side. That time they got behind and doubled her on the catch.
Kiki Rice, driving kick. Garnasalo sets her feet. When UCLA is used to multiple actions when it comes to defending Lauren Betts, meantime, Dudley, Glass, count that one and one opportunity.
And Corey Close told us last night when we spoke to her, she's really thrilled about the play from her freshman, Kendall Dudley. And we already talked about Corey Close not happy with her team's rebounding as of late. That's what she wants to see, them getting some second chance opportunities. And the freshman bringing a big spark off the bench right away.
Dudley from the Virginia area, went to the same high school as Kiki Rice.
We actually,
is a high school coach.
Yeah, go ahead. We heard their high school team is actually playing in the state championship right now, Sidwell Friends Academy. So unfortunately, they can't tune into that one. Maybe they'll be checking the score at half.
They're locked in here. Dudley will have one free throw. Looks like Hannah Stolke is trying to clean something up. They're good to go. And don't be surprised if you see Dudley get some possessions regarding Lucy Olson, too. Great defender. Really high on Coach Close's list. Here she is. Still no three-pointer yet for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Betts against O'Grady. Remember, they know each other. Colorado natives. Artisalo has some time.
And that's a great defensive possession for Iowa. The adjustments have been made on Betts. You double her, force her to give it up, and you get somebody who's not as much of a scorer to put up a three. You end it with a defensive rebound.
Well, and Kim, we've covered multiple UCLA games, and every coach tells us you've got to switch up your coverage when it comes to Lauren Betts. You can't give her the same look. Guyton, big shot maker. That's a freshman, by the way.
Yeah, there's the first triple for Iowa. And finally, this crowd is loud and really getting into it. But an answer from UCLA.
And Artisalo is somebody that Coach Close wants to see get going. She started off the season great, had a double-digit game when it came to assists. She was starting when Kiki Rice was out. Has a lot of skill. Olsen. She can knock those down off early.
And again, though, that's the scouting report for UCLA. Make her make tough ones. A lot of contests there from Kendall Dudley, as you mentioned, with giving Olsen different looks. One of the best scorers in the Big Ten and across the country as of late.
All right, time winding down here in the first. Less than 10 to go. Olsen puts it up against Betts. Right on time. A big shot from Lucy Olsen. And we've got just a 2-point game going into the second.
Yeah, this was just a heave it up. The shot clock was about to expire, and Lucy Olsen drains it.
Confidence.
Elizabeth Simpson and Gretchen Swan. At this time, we ask that the survivors of cancer of any kind, those currently battling cancer, or fans to hold up their I Fight For signs at this time. The bravery you demonstrate each day is inspiring to us all.
Big Ten basketball is brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And Xfinity, stream sports with Xfinity because it's only live once. Not a dry eye here in Carver Hawkeye Arena, as it's Pink Day, raising awareness, raising funds for cancers that affect women. One of the people recognized today is Lucy Olson's mom. If you notice, when the Hawkeyes come back out, they've got names on the back of their jerseys. Lucy Olson says she's playing for her mom.
Yeah, this is her mom, Kelly, who told me she is a two-time breast cancer survivor. And all those survivors we saw actually sat with the team this morning at the end of the shoot around and shared their stories. It's something that Iowa does every year on this day. And it's just such a special moment, as you said, very emotional for everyone here. Personal
to so many of us, and talking to Coach Corey Close, she uses the word thrivers, and I thought that was very poignant. Second quarter now underway. Two-point game after that big three by Lucy Olson to end the first.
And again, they're going to make things as difficult as they can. And Lucy Olson had a clear path on that one, but a little bit spooked by the size that she's seeing in the Bruins.
Well, and that wasn't even Lauren Betts. It was Angela Dugalich in UCLA. It's one of the tallest teams in the Big Ten. Dugalich, patient, kicks it back out to Rice. Iowa, a team whose record does not indicate how feisty, how talented, how passionate they are, sitting at 11th in the Big Ten. Kim, I got to tell you, they're coming off a loss to Ohio State, who's a top 10 team. They were down by 12 with 1:38 to go. I know you were watching that game closely. They forced OT.
Yeah, and they were down 10 with 1:10 to go, where basically all you have to do if you're Ohio State is hold the ball and get fouled. I mean, this is, I'd say Corey Close gave them almost the highest praise you can get from Corey Close. She said they're the hardest hustling team in the Big Ten. They go after loose balls, they fight for things, and that is why they've been able to turn this season around after 5 straight Big Ten losses. Then they won their next 6 and nearly a 7th with that Ohio State game.
A relentless team, and it helps when you got a crowd like the one inside Carver Hawkeye. UCLA trying to overcome it on the road.
Yeah, this environment is electric. I hadn't been here since last season. The jerseys have changed, the players on the court, the fans have not.
100%. A little bit of a drop from both sides. Fierbach goes up against Gardner. Gets bumped.
Kylie Fierbach, such an elevated role this season. Pretty much tripling her scoring and just a really strong attack at the size of UCLA. And that's how you have to attack the size. You can't go in there timid. You've got to go to try to make the shot, to get fouled. But they just got a little bit harder because Lauren Betts is back in the game.
And Fierbach, one of the veterans on what is a young Iowa team. She was there for the 2 trips to the national championship and all the success in the past few years. She talked about her elevated role this season.
Yeah, we really like her length on the defensive end as we see her right at the top of a 1-2-2 press look for the first time for the Hawkeyes. And Jan Jensen said she was going to go to that a little bit, not necessarily to trap and turn them over, but just to slow things down a little bit. But London Jones not phased.
Yeah, quiets the crowd with that jumper. UCLA back on top. And we previewed this one, folks, when we said on paper it doesn't show the intense matchup that you're about to see. We'll stay right here with Iowa.
So Iowa putting on some full court pressure, 1-2-2, a little bit of a trap, but that's how you want to attack a press. Get the ball to the middle of the floor. And London Jones, just a fundamental ball fake and pull up there. Got to be a little bit more disciplined.
But Coach Jensen sticking to the exact game plan that she detailed for us this morning, Kim. Love the honesty.
Both of these coaches super genuine and open with their time and information. Very appreciative.
Another opportunity here for Iowa. The ball bounces their way. A chance to either tie again or take the lead. They have yet to lead in this one. Inbound goes to Guyton. They're going to look for the best possible shot. O'Grady already has a couple jumpers, smacks it down again.
Aaliyah Guyton, really impressive freshman, just read that defensive scheme perfectly. They doubled her, she kicked back to O'Grady wide open at the free throw line.
Let's see how UCLA responds. Crowd's getting loud. They go right back to her. Hard to guard. Passion from Lauren Betts.
And this is how Lauren Betts has to play. She has to stay aggressive. She didn't have anything on this primary catch. You see a falter kind of dig in at her, but then she reposts. Now it's back to a single coverage. And she's been money. Anytime she has caught the ball in that arc area right underneath the basket, her efficiency is just going to be off the charts if you let her catch it there.
On the season, Lauren Betts is 61% from the field. No surprise, that's top 5 in the Big Ten. Doesn't convert on the three-point play. Her teammate gets the rebound. All right, they go back to Betts. She'll kick it back out. Iowa right back where it was a possession ago. Chance to take the lead.
But I like the aggression, though, to push the ball up, a little bit of pressure. They have shooters around the perimeter. I don't mind the shot from Feuerbach. If you get McCabe in that spot, Olsen, a falter, a little bit of a higher percentage on the season.
They work it around again. Feuerbach left alone.
Couple big moments from Feuerbach. Drops the defender and simple pull-up.
That's just smothered. Just listen to this building, right?
The building is trembling right now. This crowd is unlike most others in the country. Feuerbach gets the defender to drop, looks around, nobody's on me. Pulls up, and this crowd is certainly a factor right now.
UCLA has stayed poised, though, stayed in their offense, hasn't forced anything. Betts reading the situation. You've seen the repost. Drop step score.
Jan Jensen not happy. Oh man, Jan Jensen almost lost her blazer, imitating the elbow she thought that Lauren Betts threw on that one.
O'Grady up. Hard matchup, fouls called. Just the first on Lauren Betts.
And let's take a look. I think the refs maybe telling her just be cautious about that high elbow. Here were the high school teammates. Not yet, but right here. Yeah, you gotta be careful. I could see why Iowa was upset at the no call.
O'Grady gets the first. Tremendous performance so far from O'Grady off the bench. 6 points, 3 for 3 from the field. And no easy matchup, too, going up against Lauren Betts.
Yeah, you see on the graphic just how much of an impact she's having this season, how much she's grown. Bringing great size, and wow, this crowd is loving.
Welcome back to Iowa, Kim.
They must have read Caitlin Clark's tweet, because I saw Caitlin Clark tweeted for Carver to get loud for the Hawkeyes today. This is as loud as I heard at any point of last season. We're still in the first half.
Iowa going back to this press. Coach Jensen telling us it's not to get a steal, but to slow down UCLA. Looked like a block from Stolke. She'll get called for that one.
Thought there was a momentary lapse. Lauren Betts looked like she was cutting across the lane for an easy 2. Ooh, from that angle, Zora, that looked pretty clean to me from behind. That's a kind reaction from Hannah Stolke. Some players would yell at the ref. She gave a little smile.
Well, you know, the saying is happy like Hannah, so she's always smiley, Betts converts. Hey, we're going back and forth here.
This is really a tremendous start to the game. Credit for the crowd for being so excellent. Ooh, Feuerbach, another tough take, but Betts gets the best of it that time.
Jones, too much time. That's what she does.
And we haven't seen UCLA get out in transition too much, but when they do, she's the first person you need to locate in transition on the perimeter.
5-point basketball game. Contact as Taylor McCabe was cutting.
And this is an impact of Lauren Betts that maybe doesn't show up in the stat sheet, just how she can impact how UCLA is able to get into their offense. It started with the block, and then the best 3-point shooter for London Jones just lost on the perimeter from Iowa to stretch it back to 5-point lead for the Bruins.
Betts already 2 blocks on the afternoon. She averages about 3. Olsen trying to create some space.
And you see Hawkes, number 11, is face guarding Taylor McCabe, number 2. They do not want to let her get hot from 3.
Shot clock winding down. I don't know if Iowa recognizes it. Stolke off on time. Just a hustle play by Stremlow. Knocks it down. You call the number.
That play is going to drive Corey Close wild because she wants her team to defensive rebound. They don't, and they give up the 3 to the one player that they are face guarding on the perimeter. Wow, this crowd.
An offensive foul on UCLA. Basketball back to the Hawkeyes and a chance to take the lead.
Jan's fired up.
Thanks, Carolyn. Right here inside Carver Hawkeye Arena, UCLA, the best rebounding team in the Big Ten, but losing that battle so far in this one, and it's costing them.
Yeah, this is going to infuriate Corey Close, who has been challenging her team to be a better defensive rebounding team, a big board out to Taylor McCabe, who, as we had just mentioned, UCLA is face guarding her around the perimeter. That is the best time to get open, to get loose on the 3-point line, is off of a rebound, and Taylor McCabe spots up. That's now 5 offensive rebounds and 9 second chance points for Iowa.
Definitely a topic of conversation in the locker room for UCLA. They've still got the 2-point advantage. Quickly, Stolke misses the chippy.
And those are ones that Iowa has to finish when Lauren Betts is not in the game. No disrespect to Janiah Barker, but it's a much more even footing height-wise.
And there was some contact down low between Barker and Stolke. She'll get called with her second personal possession back to the home team. So Iowa has had numerous chances to take the lead, to no avail up to this point.
And they're right in it, and Lucy Olsen hasn't even gotten going yet. Still just the 3 points, which was the heave at the end of the first quarter.
Olsen against Jones. She'll have to recognize the shot clock. And Hannah Stolke is drawing fouls left and right. We saw it on the defensive end, now here offensively. Stolke should be going to the free throw line. She'll make her way there. And Hannah Stolke has this innate ability to draw fouls. Top 5 in the league in free throw attempts.
Ooh. Yeah, that's the only caveat. She's 66% from the line on the season. Iowa overall not a great free throw shooting team.
Well, Hannah has really improved in this category over the years. Freshman season, she was 46% from the free throw line, so she's been working on it.
Yeah, we love growth. That's 1 and 2 there. And this has been a tremendous start to this game.
UCLA breaking the press, no problem. No bets on the floor. Dugalich and Gardner are the posts right now for the Bruins.
And some zone here while Lauren Betts is out of the game. 2-3 zone from Iowa.
And quickly, McCabe foot race the other way. A rare 2 for Taylor McCabe. Lead to Iowa.
And it was the stop, the rebound that allowed Iowa to get out and play with some pace.
How will UCLA respond? Stop and pop is a no-go. Stremlo. Quick skip. McCabe, the sidestep. She got it. 10-0 Iowa run. Has them up by 4.
I have to repeat this, Zorb. Carver Hawkeye Arena is literally trembling. My seat and the table are shaking, and this pace of play has gotten Iowa back in front. The rebound, the get out and go for Taylor McCabe. You cannot lose her in transition. Ball fake, sidestep, drains the triple. Taylor McCabe up to 8 points, 2 big triples, and just look at these scenes. This crowd is incredible here at Carver Hawkeye.
Well, and what really impressed me about that series is the 2 that she had. She only has 5 2-point makes in her career. I mean, I meant it when in her career. I meant it when I said a rare 2 from Taylor McCabe.
Whoa, first 2 points since January 22nd.
She really is a 3-point specialist.
You got to mix in a layup every now and then. You know?
Oh yeah, as a shooter myself, you got to keep them on their toes.
And we go back to the conversation with Corey Close and why they elected to face guard Taylor McCabe. She said it was really Taylor McCabe who got the crowd into it when Iowa beat USC and they jumped out to that insane lead to start the game. So they have allowed McCabe to get loose here now a couple times.
So it was a delay of game warning for UCLA, just a warning. And this is a team that has a lot of confidence in these situations. They've been in tight games before. They've been in big games. A number of veterans on this squad. It's taken away and intercepted by Stremlo. Stokey left alone. The run continues. This is the 3rd-ranked team in the country on the road, on the ropes against the Hawkeyes. Dugalich uses the step through. Count it.
And these are the moments where Corey Close is really looking for growth from her team. Probably the word that we hear her use more than any other word is response. And how is her team going to respond to this run? It's been a 2-3 zone the last couple of possessions, and Angela Dugalich stays steady, fundamental, and a big N1 here on the line.
Majority of this Iowa Hawkeye run has come with Lauren Betts on the bench. She's got 2 fouls and 12 points. McCabe, been hot, nothing there. Olsen, change of speed, that's crafty. A little hezzy.
And that's just her second field goal of the game. They are making her work for every bucket, but she's got a really good handle on the basketball, gets to her spot.
Barker looked at the rim, not known as a 3-point shooter. Iowa stays in this zone. Dugalich tried to take advantage.
Just 1 of 11 now from 3 for UCLA as Iowa tries to push them out with that 2-3 zone.
Iowa has made its last 4 shots. Remember, they started shooting less than 20% from the field most of that first quarter. Now up to 45% as a group. O'Grady was O'Grady's first miss on the afternoon. Suits is back in LA. Welcome to the West Coast, the premiere of Suits LA tonight. 9 Eastern, 8 Central on NBC and Peacock.
And Zora, that's now the 6th offensive rebound for Iowa. And we've been talking about how UCLA leads the Big Ten in rebounding margin, but it's really interesting when you look at the category of defensive rebounding percentage. Iowa actually leads the Big Ten in that category, and UCLA is 8th. That is the concern for Corey Close as another second chance opportunity for the Hawkeyes.
So far, Iowa has 9 second chance points. You can argue that's been a big difference in the game so far. Largest lead of the game for Iowa at 7. And just with UCLA's record, how talented they are, you have to wonder if and when a run is coming.
Yeah, this is when they need to start to feel comfortable playing without Lauren Betts. There's going to be times when she's in foul trouble like she is right now, and you can't just go scoreless. Big second chance there for Gabrielle Hawkins.
So shot clock is off as the second quarter winds down. You have to imagine Iowa trying to get the last look at it. They're up by 5. Less than 10. Olsen on the curl, she'll step through. Connect. 2 big-time shots at the end of both quarters in the first half for Lucy Olsen. Advantage Iowa and the Hawkeyes up 7 against the 3rd-ranked team in the country. Lucy Olsen just in time. Xfinity halftime report is next. 8-8 on the season, have a 7-point lead against the 3rd-ranked team in the country. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back into Big Ten Women's Basketball here on Peacock. I'm Zora Stevenson alongside Kim Adams. Kim, UCLA, only 1 loss on the season, only 1 time this season where they've been down at half, and that's where they let one slide at USC. What have you seen so far? It's really the intangibles we've been talking about.
Yeah, well, their head coach, Corey Close, told us that Iowa is the team who hustles the most in the Big Ten, and UCLA is getting out-hustled on the glass. Iowa has 6 offensive rebounds, and it's led to 10 second chance points. It's led to a couple of triples. Iowa's now gotten 4 to go from behind the arc, just 1 for UCLA. Taylor McCabe had 2 really big ones. So hustle plays, second chance points, that has gotten the 3 balls to start to fall for Iowa. And reminder, UCLA played about the last 5.5 minutes, or last 4.5 minutes of the second quarter without Lauren Betts, who picked up her second foul. She is now back in the game, but UCLA did not look good offensively without her on the floor.
Lauren Betts leads all scorers with 12 points. So she did a lot of damage in the time that she was in. You saw how Iowa took advantage when Betts was out of the game.
Yeah, nobody else really emerged as a secondary scorer. We'll see if they can get Kiki Rice going, their second leading scorer in the season. She has just 2 points so far.
Lucy Olsen had some big shots as well. She continues and picks up right where she left off.
Lucy Olsen had a really tough start to this game. She was like 1 of 9, maybe 1 of 10, but she's starting to adjust to how she's being played.
Lauren Betts fouled as she was trying to put those baskets up. Lucy Olsen, after that shot, now in double figures, Kim.
Yeah, so Lucy Olsen really known for her mid-range game, how she can put the ball on the floor, but as of late, her 3-point shot is really picking up. Coming into this one, her last 7 games, shooting just under 50% from 3.
Lauren Betts against everyone to no avail. We talked about Lucy Olsen, came into this game 11 threes in the last 3. She has 2 so far this afternoon. Iowa has 5 threes as a team compared to UCLA's just 1. They're now up by 10. Feuerbach lost it. It'll stay right here. You're getting into uncharted territory for the Bruins. I mean, this is a team that has beat every opponent that they've played when they've won, except 2 by double digits, and now they're down by 10. Traveling call there for Hannah Stolke.
Yeah, just 1 loss on the season for UCLA was that road game at USC. And Corey Close did not like how they closed the game in the 4th quarter. She felt they got out-toughed. So now the word that she always says, respond, response. They need a big one here.
That's going all across the lane. Hit on the way up.
Lauren Betts back on the floor after missing the final few minutes of the 2nd quarter with foul trouble. Using her body, and Jan Jensen, I think, on the sideline still calling for some of the hooks, some of the elbows. I thought that one was okay there.
Well, Lauren Betts, even if she's not scoring offensively, she attracts so much attention, opens things up for her teammates. Was 1 of 2 on that trip.
And you saw it when she wasn't on the floor. UCLA got really stagnant offensively, and that's an area they need to get better, because you don't know when she's going to get into foul trouble. You still have to be able to operate with Lauren Betts on the bench.
Betts looked like she tipped that shot by Olsen. Plenty of time for the Hawkeyes to set something up and execute. Get it in. Remember, Taylor McCabe had some big-time shots in that 1st half. Stolke going up against Betts. Oh, Florida.
And I like the take aggressively, because you could tell on that possession, Lauren Betts didn't want to pick up the 3rd foul. She hardly contested that shot. She shot it away from it.
Won the confidence by Hannah Stolke to take it to her. Had a number of Hawkeyes around her. The foul is called on Lucy Olsen.
So Hannah Stolke giving up about 5 inches in this matchup, but has great foot speed. And you can see Lauren Betts didn't even put up her hands to contest that, because she doesn't want to pick up the 3rd foul.
Handoff to Rice, mishandled. It's poked away by Hannah Stolke. Feuerbach tries to make something of it. Rice. She gets in that lane, she's lethal. The lob up to Beck, she's under the basket, still finds a way.
She was almost behind the backboard on that catch, but able to use 1 power dribble for better positioning.
Well, it's passed by Hawkes too. I thought Hawkes had a nice little mid-range jumper. Rice, she's serving. What a pass to Hawkes. Just not a good angle.
Nice job of getting back by Iowa.
Dugalich takes her time. Feuerbach lets it go. 3-point shots, exactly what Corey Close did not want to give up.
This is an Iowa team that is 8-7 in the Big Ten, up by 12 right now on the number 3 team in the country.
Hey, the Hawkeyes are 15-3 where they lead at the half. Betts keeps going at it. And she's been the big bright spot for the Bruins.
UCLA needs a couple of consistent answers, though, to really get this crowd to settle down. Because I don't know if they've seen an atmosphere like this season.
Yeah, some stops. And work in the Bruins' favor. Stolke, she's working down low, up against Dugalich.
cut without the ball from Taylor McCabe, just sneaking in from that opposite elbow.
Googly's trying to find her shot and does. Put her hands up like finally.
UCLA has to continue to trust the players that they know can shoot the threes well. That time, got an inside look, and that's what Corey Close talked about, attacking the paint so that things can open up inside out for some more three-point opportunities. But now they have to knock them down, just 2 of 13 on the afternoon.
So UCLA has it in single digits. Kierbach is just a tough matchup going against Betts. UCLA trying to cut the deficit again. Betts up against Stolke. On repeat.
Yeah, I would just keep feeding into her every time. On that possession, Iowa back to playing behind her, which is a field day for Lauren Betts, but just keep playing through Betts.
19 points for Lauren Betts. A quick 7 here in the third quarter. 46-39, Iowa lead.
At this time, we recognize this moment in Hawkeye history brought to you by Oak Knoll. On December 21st, 2014, the Hawkeyes took down the Drake Bulldogs 198. Senior Sam Logic made the game-winning shot and finished the game with a double-double. She was just 2 assists away from a triple-double, recording 18 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 assists. This moment brought to you by Oak Knoll, an active life care community. Visit oakknoll.com to schedule your personal tour. And it's time for the Honda Dance Cam. Get on your feet and let's see those moves. We want to see you dance like Kate and Gabby.
Basketball is brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And Discover, the official credit card of the Big Ten Conference. Colorado natives and once high school teammates, Addie O'Grady and Lauren Betts, now on opposite sides of the court. Time now for our big shots, brought to you by Xfinity, showing how the post players have done so far this afternoon. Addie O'Grady off the bench, tremendous in the first half, but Lauren Betts, it's been all her in the third quarter.
Yeah, I mean, when she's gotten her catches deep, there has not been much of an answer, but Addie O'Grady now coming in off the bench. She gave some really nice defensive activity against her former high school teammate, and she's got some big buckets as well. Good efficiency.
Yeah, great efficiency from both the post players. They go to O'Grady. Play out of her. McCabe fading. Little flare. 7-point game. Rice O'Grady.
Iowa back in this 2-3 zone here because Betts is really hurting them in the one-on-one defense. They're going to try to make these UCLA guards beat them from the outside.
Well, kudos to Jen Jensen for the constant adjustments so far this afternoon. Kiki Rice finds some space. She'll finish off the play at the free throw line. When we come back, Kiki Rice has got 2. Survive and Who Will Die, the Emmy-winning competition show The Traders, is back for a new season. Stream new episodes Thursday only on Peacock. Well, that's a teaser
Sounds
for you.
intense.
Yeah, right? Just like this game.
Ooh, the hot dog cannon.
7-point basketball game. Less than 4 to go here in the third. How does UCLA get back into this one?
Well, they need some scoring other than Lauren Betts. Lauren Betts has 19 points. After that, London Jones has 5. Dugalich has 5. Kiki Rice is about to head to the free throw line. We'll see if that can get her going a little bit. She's their second leading scorer on the season. She has just 2 points in this game, but I think Corey Close talked about her team needing to be more confident. She needs some of the pieces around Lauren Betts to play with a little bit more confidence right now, because Lauren Betts is obviously the focal point of the defense.
Saw Rice's season average on your screen there. Usually scores about 13. That's just her 3rd point this afternoon. UCLA getting into Iowa last night. This is one of a couple on the road. They'll stay in the Midwest to play Wisconsin early next week.
Now here comes a different look defensively. Some full court pressure here. Heavy guard lineup, as Corey Close would probably like to see her team be a bit more disruptive and alive on this end of the court.
Taken away by Dudley. See if this can be the momentum that UCLA needs. Jaquez flashes to the middle. That's calling for it. Jaquez keeps it. 3 seconds on Lauren Betts.
Yeah, initially it looked like a good attack of that 2-3 zone, getting right into that open paint area. But Betts has to be careful against the zone to not just get caught in the trap of standing around.
Yeah, Betts spent a number of seconds calling for that basketball. You could argue it was a great read by Jaquez, but too much time in the lane. And Iowa really has handled the pressure nicely. O'Grady now asking for it. She passes well out of the post.
This team really moves well without the ball. Sydney Falter actually set a screen there for Lucy Olsen, and then just saw how they played it and made a hard cut right to the block.
Jaquez rattles that one home, much needed for the Bruins.
They could certainly use to get a little bit hotter from 3. Now 3 of 14 from deep.
Iowa was up by 12, now just a 4-point game. You want to watch the score. Guyton goes baseline. All down by Jaquez. Betts is running. Jaquez keeps it. Pickpocketed by Lucy Olsen. One-on-one opportunity. Feuerbach messed that up.
Big play for Feuerbach there, really saved the layup.
And was forcing UCLA to reset. You know, Betts a repost. They're really working this 2-woman game between Betts and Rice. Jaquez, big board. And that's the kind of play that Corey Close wants to see.
Yeah, these are high motor plays that we've seen a couple from Gabriela Jaquez, really starting to get after it on the glass, just crashing hard. And we mentioned this is a player that Corey Close has identified as a veteran on this team who's always been very poised and solid in the big moments, and she challenged Gabriela to bring that back. It's just had a really nice stretch of energy here.
And her nickname is all gas, gas. Jaquez today, 7 points, 8 rebounds. I mean, the stats are showing the impact that she's had on this game. Jaquez will have a couple here. Now in a starting role. She came off the bench last season, averaging double digits. Averages about 10 this season. 2-point game. And a foul on the free throw line. Hannah Stolke draws it. Looks like it's against Janiah Barker.
Let's check it out and see what happened. I didn't notice it in real time. So we're looking at
They're battling.
It's just tough because they were tangled up, and sometimes the officials don't see the first action, they see the reaction. That's her third, though.
Well, and that's important because now back to UCLA. UCLA in the middle of a 12-2 run. They're down by double digits, and now a chance to take the lead back.
Yeah, this has been an impressive response, a word that Corey Close always harps on. This is a really tough environment to play in, and they have battled their way back.
Kick to Rice. She had some space, but you can tell she second-guessed herself.
Yeah, Iowa continuing to stick with this 2-3 zone. I think the guards need to be a little bit more aggressive in attacking it. They can't just be passing around the perimeter. They need to attack off the pass, cuts, dribbling.
Yeah, Stremlo, Olsen, Stolke, O'Grady, and McCabe in the game for the Hawkeyes. Foul on Kiki Rice as Stolke was driving. .116 to go here in the third.
Seems we've had a lot of whistles lately. Iowa's actually already in the bonus. They have fouled 5 times, so maybe try to even out the whistle a little bit. Second foul on UCLA this quarter.
Stolke, confident to the rim. That's a big-time drive.
She's been really good at attacking this afternoon. Seeing Betts is on the opposite block, takes it right at Barker, who's sitting on the 3 fouls.
Great point on the recognition. Pass down low to Betts. She has 3 Hawkeyes on her. Arnisalo looked at the rim. She'll get to the teeth of the defense. Lots of traffic. Count it.
We've got Jan Jensen calling for a travel, some people calling for an offensive foul. Let's go to the tape to see if the officials got it right. I could almost see this being a no call. For that, it's hard to see if she extended the elbow. I don't think it was a travel.
I was gonna say, your laugh tells me how you feel.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't as much there as I think the whistle called for. Definitely wasn't a travel though from that angle.
So the tie-up possession arrow stays with UCLA. Less than 40 to go here in the third. Once again, an opportunity to tie or take the lead. They inbound to Betts. In a little bit of trouble. All right, Kiki Rice getting things organized. Rice navigates long strides. Another foul. Referee says it's what was on her head.
Yeah, we've had a lot of fouls in the last couple of minutes. Kiki Rice still just sitting on 1 field goal of the game. Not much there. Maybe a little bit on the hands up top, but credit to Rice for putting pressure on the defense, doing what she does best, getting into the lane.
The 85% free throw shooter getting it done from the line. Game is tied. This is a good one.
This is great. Both teams have made their runs. UCLA, I think, has settled into the atmosphere. They've been able to take the crowd out of it a little bit because this place has been booming at times.
You think Iowa would want to hold it for the last shot in the quarter? First quarter, second quarter, Lucy Olsen has been the one to knock down shots as time is winding down.
And UCLA can't lose McCabe here. She's in the opposite corner right now. We'll see if Olsen can create.
They go to the horn set. Hannah Stolke has been effective off the dribble. Olsen again on time. 0.6 seconds left. Jan Jensen is fuming.
Oh my, Jan.
So 0.6, I mean, you can heave. Arnisala wasn't naturally ready for it at all, though. So it'll remain tied as we head into the fourth quarter. My goodness, the #3 team in the country down by 12 ties it up as we head to the fourth and final frame. And spicy. USC at the top because they beat UCLA. Meantime, Iowa is 11th, but we've got a tie game going into the fourth.
And this is interesting because Iowa's trying to break out of this pack. You see 9-6, 9-7, 8-7. They're trying to elevate their seeding a little bit, NCAA tournament seeding, and I'm sure USC is keeping an eye on this game as they would love an outright Big Ten title. Reminder, those two teams, USC, UCLA, still have to meet for a second time on March 1st, but this is drama here, all tied up heading into the fourth.
100%. And this is why the game's not played on paper.
No,
right?
No, we got to get out there. We got to lace them up.
Sydney Folter taking it strong. Olsen sizing up Rice. Nice little space. Stolke, she asked for it. The fouls continue.
Yeah, this is where, as a player, as coaches, you tell your players to adjust to how this whistle is being called, which is very tightly right now. I'd say a tighter whistle than we saw in the first half. Any little bump, hold, reach, you're probably going to get whistled, and a couple of these players are in foul trouble.
Olsen gets a good look. That's off the backboard. Who's going to blink first? Fourth quarter, winning time. Gardner. The basketball was bobbled, landed in the hands of Dugalich. And the disruption by the Hawkeyes, they forced the turnover. The Folks are trying to get it up the floor. And there's another foul call.
Things are getting spicy right now. Iowa was calling for a foul call really the entire way up the floor. A little bit of a riding her here, bumping. A Folter keeping the dribble alive, and then eventually it was like a one-on-one zigzag drill just until she could get that foul call. Two quick whistles for UCLA.
A Folter recognized that Dugalich was a little too close. Olsen, tough look.
And she's got to stick to herself. I think the last couple shots she's gone up trying to get fouled instead of trying to make the basket. I think she had more space than she thought for.
Arnisala has all the time. Still waiting on the first score of the fourth quarter. In UCLA, 60% from the field in the third quarter. Came alive. No one has found the bottom of the net just yet here in the fourth.
Yeah, so far to start the fourth quarter, Iowa is liking the look of their 2-3 zone. They have gotten UCLA to force up some threes rather than go inside to bet. So UCLA has to be really smart in how they're attacking this zone. Make sure the threes are a good look. People, you want to take those threes, and you can't get passive against the zone. I still think they need to attack it more, try to get into the paint to shift this zone around.
Olsen, one of 2 double-digit scorers so far for the Hawkeyes, her and McCabe. Olsen curls, gets close to the rim. We thought it was a block by Rice. Another whistle.
So we have not even played 2 minutes of this fourth quarter, and UCLA has already been whistled for 3 fouls. This in real time looked pretty clean.
It looked clean,
right?
I don't usually comment on the reviews unless I'm sure.
That's a tough one for Kiki Rice. Like, they are already 2 fouls away from the bonus. That was I thought that was a really nice recovery across the lane from Kiki Rice. That is her 3rd foul.
And you got to keep an eye on the fouls if you're UCLA. You mentioned Rice has 3, Barker has 3, but also Dugalich, who's on the bench right now. whistle that we're accustomed to seeing from the Hawkeyes. No surprise it was Sydney a falter there. So
Yeah.
Iowa's gonna get the ball back.
This team plays with a lot of heart, a lot of passion. That's one, if it were the final 2 minutes, they could go to the monitor and review, but you can't at this point of the game.
1 point lead for Iowa. They'll look to extend. London Jones now.
This is pretty crazy. I mean, it's now 4 fouls to 0. Still, we're less than 2 minutes into the fourth quarter. Let's take a look if there was, yeah, I mean, there is contact there. Have to move the feet, have to move laterally, but I can see the frustration from Corey Close. Now the foul's 4 to 0 here, less than 2 minutes into the quarter.
Well, that's gonna matter. I mean, this is a close game. You'd think it would come down to the wire. Lucy Olsen calls another one.
Wow.
5 team fouls for UCLA.
UCLA now in the bonus.
With 8:12 to go.
And they are really just attacking London Jones. Yeah, I mean, she did bring those hands down a little bit. But anytime a guard has the ball with London Jones guarding her, they've really attacked.
So now you got to add Jones to the category and group of Bruins who have 3 personals. And Olsen 1 for 2 again. I mean, those are big opportunities at the free throw line. Reich trying to get through. And now a foul against Iowa.
I mean, you absolutely have to call that if you've just called 5 of those on the other end. So unfortunately, we may be in for a little bit of a foul fest here for the final 8 minutes.
No one wants
but
that.
But they called it on the other end, you call it here. It's a bump, it's a ride. You have to allow the freedom of movement, and it's time for players to really adjust to how the whistles are.
UCLA looking to tie or take the lead. Jones, you saw her eye. All down by a falter. Iowa gets into its offense. They'll play through Stolke. She's up against Betts. No fear, though, from Hannah Stolke. Just short. Rice, no numbers. Jones calling for it. Thought she had a look. She'll take it amongst the trees.
Iowa has done a really nice job of getting back in transition defense, but this was better patience, better attacking against the zone from UCLA, this time at the hands of London Jones. I don't know, I didn't see too much contact there at all.
Like I said, I only comment when I'm 100% sure. That's a feisty take by London Jones, right? At 5'4", going up against Stolke and Olsen.
And coaches, all they want is for things to be even on both ends, so we have seen it called like that on the other side. Officials calling it here.
The lefty gets both, just like that. Tied again. Don't blink.
And I still feel like in this quarter, we have not seen UCLA settle into an offensive rhythm. A lot of it is because they keep fouling, so they're not getting possession. But I think it's a great sign for them that they're tied, and they really haven't hit any sort of stride offensively yet here in the fourth.
Yeah, UCLA yet to hit a field goal in the fourth.
Non-whistle.
You surprised?
I'd love to see it. Let's play.
All right, the zip pass down to Betts. Said there was a kick.
No, I think they called a foul.
Right, but it was the kicking motion.
Yeah, a kicking foul.
A kicking foul. Sorry, I need to be specific.
With the lower body, like, let's...
On O'Grady.
I mean, to me, that's just good posting battle. Good post battle there.
Inbound to Hawkins. Dugalich tees it up. Betts keeps the possession alive. Big ups by Olsen there to steal it.
UCLA, when they get those offensive rebounds, they want to do a better job of capitalizing.
No one open right now. Fulton needs some help. Over and back. Back to UCLA.
This game is like bonkers right now. Jan Jensen can't believe it. I'm surprised the Blazer has lasted this game. UCLA is getting really fired up on their end. Yeah, I don't think did a UCLA player.
Wait, can we see the stance
Kiki
that
may
Coach
have
is in right now? I mean, Coach is on. Look at her.
She's in despair.
Yeah.
Kiki may have gotten a hand on that deflection.
All
I
right.
think that like everyone just needs to take a deep breath. The refs, the coaches, the players, the fans, and us, the broadcast. Like we need to reset this game.
Well, we got to play on. Time waits for no one. Dugalich responds. Back and forth we go. Remember, UCLA had yet to hit a field goal. O'Grady up against her former teammate. Quick decision.
Yeah, super quick feet, like was moving on the catch. Got a good first step on Betts' side.
But you see UCLA taking its time here, trying not to let the crowd affect them. Betts wants it. She's met by multiple. Pass out. Jones gets it back. Shot clock winding down just in time. What a series.
Huge shot from Kiki Rice.
Oh, I love this game.
To keep the ball alive, moving around, shot clock expiring. Kiki Rice, just her second field goal of the afternoon.
Rice now, looking ahead. An obvious bump there by Olsen.
Yeah, this last possession was just tremendous. It started off with really good defense from Iowa, good recovery and a block from a falter, but London Jones hustling for the offensive rebound, the smallest player on the floor, kicks it out to Rice. The bench is loving it.
All right, so playing through Betts has worked. Hawkes now from the outside. Still a three-point game, under 5 to go. Olsen. It looks smooth. Rice putting the Jets on all the way to the rim. Gets her own rebound. Jones. You see Coach Jensen asking for patience from her team. Look for a good shot. Hannah Stolke has been in attack mode.
She had a really important rebound at the other end, and then she sees the mismatch. She had a guard on her, Kiki Rice. She puts her head down and attacks hard like she has done all afternoon.
Stolke now in double figures. 4 Hawkeyes in double figures. That's a kickball. Man, what a game. 1 point difference. It's a big one. Big Ten basketball is brought to you by Pods, trusted with more than 6 million moves. Neither team has shot it well here in the fourth, both at around 20 to 25%. We've got a 1-point basketball game, 3:54 to go.
Yeah, this has been intense. My heart is pounding as we're looking at these fourth quarter numbers. It's been stop and go. There have been a lot of whistles. Neither team shooting particularly well right now. This is certainly going to end up being a grinded out game. Lauren Betts has yet to score here in the fourth quarter as Iowa continues to stick with a zone look that's worked well against her. But that's where UCLA needs to rely on some other people. I think Kiki Rice has really come alive the last couple minutes. She's up to 9 points, 4 of 4 from the free throw line.
They get it into Rice. She looked at Betts. That middle has been open. Jones, stop and pop. Recovered by Betts. There's the first field goal of the fourth.
And she gets it herself. They were really like tight on her, doubling her in that zone. They couldn't get her a clean look, so she goes up and gets that offensive rebound herself.
Olsen. See a little added pressure here by UCLA. Olsen using the footwork. Finger roll.
Lucy Olsen has just put so much time in the gym with her footwork, her moves, her finishing ability. That was well defended, but she steps through for two.
Rice, big shot if it goes. Multiple Hawkeyes going for the rebound.
Lucy Olsen trying to carry her team to another upset here. She's been really good late in big games, and it is no different right now, stepping through. And then on the other side, Lauren Betts fighting for that offensive rebound. They've made things really tough, packing it in on her on the inside, but she handles business herself.
We will be shooting free throws the rest of the way on both sides. A Fultzer, just one field goal, 11 rebounds though.
And both of these teams equal in terms of free throw percentage on the season, both at 71%. And this game could certainly come down to free throws.
There was a violation there by Dugalich. So Fultzer will get another opportunity. It's tied right now. Advantage Iowa.
And here comes that pressure from Iowa just to slow them down, take them out of a rhythm a little bit.
UCLA breaks it. Takes some time off the shot clock. No settling. We've got some room on the three-point line. Jones will tee it up.
And that ball never went inside the three-point line for UCLA. You have to be more aggressive against this 2-3 zone.
The lob, a lot of bodies. They pass out of it. Rice puts that one up big time.
And what's the difference there, Zora? They went inside, they went back out, they attacked, and that got Iowa into a rotation and closeout situation. And Kiki Rice with a big-time shot.
You mentioned the impact of Kiki Rice, particularly in this fourth quarter. From the free throw line, that time from the outside. All right, look at the mismatch. Stolke has Rice on her, the awareness by Dugalich to help on the backside.
And for a while, it was all Lauren Betts from UCLA. When they are sending three at her, she needs some help from her teammates. Good creation from London Jones off the bounce, and then Kiki Rice has stepped up huge after a really slow start offensively. She's now up to 12 points, 2 triples in the last couple of minutes.
Under 2 minutes. Referees are going to take a walk to the scores table and get another look at something.
The out-of-bounds call on the floor is possession to Iowa. That play is under review.
All right, so making sure they got the possession right. I'm looking, I mean, you talked about Rice getting, let's get another look at this.
I think the initial call was Iowa. To me, I do think it looks like Dudley, 22 in blue, had the last touch on the deflection.
So you think the call will stand?
I think it will. Because they initially called it Iowa, there would have to be enough to overturn it, which even if it's 50-50, it would stick with the call on the floor. This might give us a good read. I think there it looks off on blue. I would imagine that this would stick with Iowa. However, I was very wrong on a call last week when there was an upgrade review. in the USC
But
Michigan
see, no
State
one
game.
remembers until you bring it up.
No one's perfect.
Ever. If the call does stand, Iowa's going to have 7 seconds to work on the shot clock. This has been a balanced Iowa attack. 4 different players in double figures: O'Grady, Stolke, Olsen, and McCabe. Referees continue to look at it. They're thorough.
I don't know, from up top now it looks a little bit
You
more
thought-
off on white.
You thought Feuerbach got the...
There's too many angles. This is like our world. We have too much information coming in at us.
Well, and this is exactly what the
not an easy
referees
one
are
for the
seeing.
crew.
The
This is
referees
not an easy one.
they have all the angles that we have. We wait and see. What's the verdict?
There is no clear and conclusive video evidence to overturn the call. Therefore, the call stands.
It will remain Iowa basketball. Kim, you are right.
Hey, I got to take notes. I'm from a family of officials. I've picked up a few things along the way.
Shout out to Dad. I know he's
Big
always
Bob.
watching. Iowa down 2. You want to take advantage of this extra time. You're getting Olsen going into the bag. That's tough. Fading away.
That's another one where I think she tried to get fouled. She almost knew it herself, like she messed something up there. She's got to go up confidently and not just try to draw fouls.
All right, Corey Close calls a 30-second timeout. Wants to get her group organized. Bridget Jones is back for a final chapter in Bridget Jones, Mad About the Boy. Renee Zellweger stars in the original film, streaming now only on Peacock. Down to the wire here in Iowa City. Less than 2 minutes to go. 2-point game. We've gone back and forth. Oh, straight line into Lauren Betts. She decides to kick it out.
Iowa sticking with the zone, but they need to be aware of the shooters. Jones, Rice has started to heat up from deep.
Patience here from the Bruins. Risky pass. A nice find to Dugalich from Betts.
What a play from Betts. The catch was not easy, and then to make the pass while falling out of bounds at 6'7".
So with 1:18 to go, UCLA extends its lead to 4.
This was not an easy catch to start with. It was not perfectly placed. She had 2 people on her. Only Lauren Betts can make that catch. And then the wherewithal to keep her balance, not travel, and find a cutting Dugalich. Really good awareness from both players. And that's where that zone is getting a little dangerous, because Iowa has fallen asleep at times. You can't just turn and look at the ball. You have to locate the players on this UCLA team that moves really well without the ball.
4-point game. If you're Iowa, still multiple possessions left. You're not in a situation where you need to force anything.
Yeah, they certainly don't need a 3. I would obviously keep it with Lucy Olsen, allow her to create, but she's got to stay confident and try to go up strong instead of looking to draw fouls. And players on the perimeter have to be ready, because she's probably going to be double teamed or heavily defended.
Hornstead is what they started. Looks like the play not going as planned. Olsen gets it back. So she has Betts on her. Might be a mismatch somewhere else. A falter. And just held up. Great defensive play by Kiki Rice.
I thought there Lucy could have taken advantage of that mismatch and used her pull-up game against Betts, but she kicks it off to a falter.
Oh, they called a foul. I thought it was a tie-up.
Oh yeah, they call a foul. Certainly got her on the arm there.
All right.
So a strong take.
Misread by me.
From a falter. That's the 4th on Rice.
So got to be aware. No more fouls for Kiki Rice. Now a 3-point deficit. Affolter, a 75% free throw shooter.
And let's keep in mind, this is an Iowa team that forced overtime when down 10 to Ohio State last game with just over a minute to play. This team knows how to come back.
Oh yeah, 2-point game is nothing for them after what they did a couple days ago.
And they can play this straight up. One possession game, you don't need to think about fouling. You have to keep an eye on those shooters.
Offensive fouls, that's the 5th on Kiki Rice. I mean, you gotta think about the impact. She's out.
Corey Close, livid on the sidelines. Let's take a look here. I think Feuerbach got to the spot, but I don't think from that angle, maybe a little bit of a dip of the shoulder.
So Kiki Rice, the 2nd leading scorer and the floor general for the Bruins, will be out for the remainder of this one. It's a 2-point game.
I mean,
40 seconds to go.
There have been some tough calls in this game for the officials to have to make. Feuerbach certainly beat her to the spot. I just don't know if there's enough momentum from Rice to warrant an offensive foul, but a tough one for the officials to have to make.
So now you've got Dudley, the freshman, joining the rest of the starting lineup for the Bruins. We'll finish this one up in 30 seconds. So both teams have had ample time to refine their strategies and get this game plan together, how they want to handle the last 40 seconds of this one. I mean,
this is intense. UCLA has been so strong defensively all season. Can they come up with a big stop here? On the other side, Lucy Olsen has been one of the most clutch players late in games.
Olsen leading Iowa right now with 14, but you know who has had a big impact is Hannah Stolke going to the rim. And Betts draws the foul on the rebound.
This play had worked multiple times throughout the game. They get Hannah Stolke coming across the opposite side of the lane, but really good defense by Angela Dugalich, staying straight up and then coming up with the rebound and drawing a foul. So Betts will head to the free throw line, which is not her biggest strength on the season, Zora.
Betts 3 for 5 so far today. You see her season average is 60%. These are some big free throws.
And this is almost a best case scenario for Iowa because no time went off the clock. And now at most it'll be still a one possession game.
Betts goes 1 for 2, a quick timeout by the Hawkeyes. So both teams still have 1 timeout left. That's important to note with 28.4 to go. And you got to think Iowa wants to get a different look than what they just had.
Yeah, I would really try to get something for Lucy Olsen created here. They're down 3, but there's so much time left. I don't think you necessarily need to draw up for a 3. I would draw up for an attacking 2 from Olsen or a Falter. Have McCabe ready on the perimeter for a potential go-ahead 3 on a double team. But I would keep it in the hands of the guards here, who have been so good in this turnaround for Iowa, most notably Lucy Olsen and Sydney Falter.
We're doing a little flashback because the last time a top 5 opponent was in this building, Iowa got it done, pulled the major upset. The game wasn't as close close with 30 seconds to go.
Yeah, this one was a little bit different because Iowa jumped out to a huge lead. USC came back, but it was tight throughout, and it was this young lady right here, Lucy Olson, who was so good in closing time. She was really good in the Ohio State game the other day when they nearly came back from double digits in the final minute or so. And we look at these notes. Iowa 1 and 2 against the top 10. That one, of course, being USC. Let's see what they draw up here. And a foul, both teams in the bonus. So any sort of foul would send Iowa right to the line for 2 shots.
Going back to that USC game, Lucy Olson had 28 points in that win, 14 today.
And UCLA has possession if a jump ball occurred.
The suspense, it builds. Less than 30 to go. Hawkeyes down by 3. McCabe coming off a screen, just no space. Just trying to create some. Olson from deep. Stolke, big board. Olson, another opportunity. She'll put it up. She got it. 3 free throws coming.
Oh my gosh. This was initially well defended from UCLA. They took away the looks, but a enormous rebound from Hannah Stolke. And then Lucy Olson. We mentioned how clutch she's been. And I think they called this foul because Dudley gets in her landing space. She's saying, I didn't touch her, which she didn't up top, but you have to allow the shooter to come down. Wow, 3 shots for Olson.
2 more to go with a 2-point game. 6.8 is on the clock. There's Lisa Bluter. Talk about the tension. Clutch from Lucy Olson.
We just talked about it. She has been so clutch in tight games down the stretch. She gets the foul call. She keeps the play alive, and then ice in the veins to swish all 3 free throws. We have a tie game at Carver Hawkeye.
Lucy Olson has been timely all season long. The Hawkeyes down by 12 with 1:38 to go against Ohio State the other day. Olson hits back-to-back threes. Now, just a couple days later, 3 clutch free throws, and you've got the number 3 team in the country on their heels. But hey, a great opportunity for UCLA. 6.8 to go, tie game. Why not go to Lauren Betts and see what she can do?
Yeah, that has to be the play call. So just in case anyone's late to women's basketball, UCLA will get to advance it into their half of the court here. I would try to get a quick hitter, meaning you're trying to get her something quick, maybe right off the inbounds because of how good the doubles and triples have been on her. What does that mean, Zora? It means you need tremendous screening, tremendous cutting. All 5 players have to be on the same page to know what they're doing, and everybody has to crash for an offensive rebound.
6.8, more than enough time for maybe a couple passes. Survey. This is how we got here, though. Iowa was down by 3. Lucy Olson puts it up from deep, and she's fouled. Here's another look.
And this doesn't happen without Hannah Stolke beating 3 Bruins for the offensive rebounds, and it's the landing space here. There was no contact up top, but you have to allow a shooter to go straight up and come back down. And then after that, Lucy Olson would cash out on all 3 free throws.
So much of this 4th quarter has come down to the free throw line.
Watch the inbounder here too, and Gardner.
A taller inbounder. All right, Arnesalo has it. What's the draw up? There's a collision.
It's so loud that we couldn't even hear the whistle there.
Looks like it's a foul on Lucy Olson, which means Arnesalo, the freshman, goes to the free throw line with 3.8 to go.
Fouls have been a big story of this second half. Let's take another look at it. So Olsen kind of tripped on her own, and as a result, she tripped Arnasalo, which you have to call. I mean, she slides under her.
Big time. Arnasalo steps up to the free throw line. Just 15 for 19 on the season.
Iowa has a timeout here.
2-point lead, UCLA. It's the last timeout for the Hawkeyes.
My heart is pounding.
3.8 is substantial.
Talk about clutch free throws. That was the freshman Arnasalo stepping up. Not as much on the line because it was tied, but still big. But because of this advancement rule, this is plenty of time for Iowa to draw something up. For Lucy Olsen, Sydney Falter, again, screening, so important here to get people open. You don't have much time to create once the initial pass comes in. So UCLA, you maybe want to consider switching everything that involves Olsen, that involves a Falter. Try to keep the ball out of their hands. And again, any foul is 2 free throws, as we've seen on the last couple of possessions.
You have to imagine that you would want the ball in the hands of Lucy Olsen, your leading scorer. The question is how, right? Who inbounds the ball? What's the action that you get into?
And you know UCLA is going to make it as difficult as possible. You see the size of this lineup, the length of this lineup. They're going to deny her. They're going to probably switch on her, double her on the catch.
So it's a Falter, the veteran, who's going to inbound. Lucy Olsen runs to it, off the screen. She's met. O'Grady! And that's way short. And let's see if there's any time left.
I think, did Betts get a piece of that? Is that it credited with a block?
O'Grady had to put it up, knowing
The
time
out-of-bounds
and
play is
score.
under review for a possible timing error.
Yeah, so there still will be some time on the clock there. I'm actually surprised they had a Falter inbound it there, because once Lucy Olsen couldn't get it in, I mean, the best look was your center going for a 3. Well defended by UCLA.
And sometimes you want your best scorer to even have a contested look over a wide open look from someone who's maybe not used to that moment.
Yeah, I thought they could have hit her off of this curl. She would have been met with 2. But it just didn't seem like there was a great second or third option there once they couldn't get it to Olsen.
I'm guessing a second or less is going to be on the clock.
And what is interesting here, Zor, is if they do add the time, UCLA doesn't have a timeout, so they're going to have to inbound it underneath, which even if there's a second, if Iowa could ever get a quick steal and layup off of the inbound, all UCLA has to do is get the ball in, but because they can't advance it, it is in a little bit of a problem area.
Yeah, the risk there for the turnover. Get another look at this Addie O'Grady shot.
You know, we're going to see, did Lauren Betts get a piece of this? She may have just missed it, but she certainly altered it, which is what we talk about all season long with Lauren Betts at 6'7", even if it's not showing up on the stat sheet, how she can make an impact defensively. Officials still trying to get this time perfect, but based on what we could tell, there certainly will be some time added here, maybe a second and a half. So let's see when the officials, looks like it hits out of bounds right there, which is 1.5 on the clock. The clock would run out there. I also don't know, maybe they're reviewing to see if Betts touched it, which we don't think she did. In that case, it would be UCLA ball, but just in case they're looking at, they might be looking at that too. Did Betts deflect the shot? In which case it would be Iowa ball, which would be really big under the basket.
That would change things. We await answers. Here we go. Looks like they have him.
After review, the ball was touched out of bounds with 3/10 remaining on the game clock. Therefore, the clock is being set to 3/10.
Much less than I thought it was going to be. 3/10.
They said someone touched it, but I thought it like bounced on the baseline with
Jan Jensen
1.5.
was asking if someone touched it. So 3/10 of a second left.
I thought it bounced out of bounds with 1.5 on the clock. Well, not much time at all, but
just got to get it in.
Yep.
UCLA down by double digits in the third, claws their way back. Starting point guard fouls out. Smart move just to heave it up. And UCLA holds on. Tough matchup, tough environment. And they show why their top 5 team in the country had that #1 spot for 12 weeks. Lauren Betts, of course, leading all scorers, 22 points. Another double-double added to her total, 9 for 12 from the field, efficient as well. And even though Kiki Rice fouled out, I mean, what she was able to do, 10 of her 12 points were in the second half.
Yeah, and Corey Close told us yesterday, we need Lauren Betts and Kiki Rice to play well for our team to win. And Lauren Betts was a constant throughout. Kiki, little bit of a slower start, and then came up really, really big in the fourth quarter. And this was a UCLA team that was down 12 at a point in this game.